Imagine a single pen that changed the course of history. A young thinker, just 33 years old, writing words that would inspire freedom for generations. Thomas Jefferson didn't fight with swords, he fought with ideas. From his quiet study in Virginia to the birth of a nation, discover how one man's vision reshaped the world forever. Stay tuned because this story will change the way you see history. Imagine a single moment when silence filled a room, a pen touched paper, and history quietly changed forever. No battlefield, no cannon fire, no marching armies, just words. Words so powerful that they challenged kings, shattered empires, and gave birth to a nation. Those words came from Thomas Jefferson. Long before he became the third president of the United States, Jefferson was a thinker, a dreamer, and a man who believed ideas could be stronger than weapons. Born on April 13, 1743, in Virginia, Thomas Jefferson entered a world ruled by monarchy and tradition, where power belonged to kings and ordinary people had little say in their own lives. From an early age, Jefferson showed a rare curiosity. He was not satisfied with simple answers. He wanted to understand how the world worked, why governments ruled, and what made people free or enslaved. While other children focused on physical games, Jefferson spent countless hours reading books, studying languages, and questioning authority. His mind was his greatest strength. He believed knowledge was the key to freedom, and ignorance was the greatest enemy of mankind. Jefferson studied law, philosophy, science, and history, absorbing the ideas of Enlightenment thinkers who spoke of reason, natural rights, and equality. These ideas slowly shaped his vision of a better world, one where governments existed to serve the people, not control them. As Jefferson grew older, the American colonies were under British rule. The colonists were taxed heavily yet had no voice in the British Parliament. This injustice deeply troubled Jefferson. He believed that no government had the moral right to rule without the consent of the governed. This belief became the foundation of his life's work. In his 20s, Jefferson began writing essays and arguments that criticized tyranny and defended liberty. His words were calm, logical, and powerful. People listened because he did not shout, he reasoned. When tensions between Britain and the colonies reached a breaking point, Jefferson was called upon to do something extraordinary. In 1776, at just 33 years old, he was chosen to draft a document that would explain to the world why the American colonies were declaring independence. This task was not just political, it was revolutionary. Jefferson understood that this document needed to do more than announce separation. It needed to justify rebellion, inspire courage, and define the values of a new nation. Sitting quietly, often alone, Jefferson began writing what would become the Declaration of Independence. Every sentence mattered, every word carried weight. He wrote not just for his generation, but for generations yet unborn. When Jefferson wrote the famous words, "All men are created equal," he was making a bold statement that challenged centuries of monarchy and inherited power. He declared that people are born with natural rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that governments exist to protect these rights. These ideas were dangerous at the time. Kings feared them, empires hated them, but ordinary people believed in them. Jefferson's words spread like fire, inspiring hope among the oppressed and fear among tyrants. This moment defined Jefferson's place in history. He was not the loudest voice of the revolution, nor the strongest soldier. He was the architect of freedom through language. Section 1 of Thomas Jefferson's story is not just about his birth or education. It is about the moment when ideas became a weapon and words became a revolution. Jefferson proved that a single mind, guided by reason and courage, could change the destiny of millions. His pen did not just write history, it created it. Thomas Jefferson came of age during a period when empires ruled the world, and ordinary people had little control over their own destinies. The British Empire was one of the most powerful forces on Earth, and the American colonies existed under its authority. Laws were made thousands of miles away, taxes were imposed without representation, and colonial voices were largely ignored. For Jefferson, this system was not just unfair, it was morally wrong. He believed deeply that human beings were born with natural rights that no king or government could take away. Influenced by Enlightenment philosophers such as John Locke, Jefferson adopted the idea that reason, not tradition, should guide human society. He believed that power should come from the consent of the people, not from birthright or force. As a young lawyer and politician in Virginia, Jefferson began to gain attention for his sharp intellect and persuasive writing. He was not a fiery speaker who commanded crowds with loud speeches. Instead, his strength lay in his calm logic and carefully chosen words. He believed that lasting change came from convincing minds, not intimidating opponents. As tensions between Britain and the colonies grew, Jefferson wrote pamphlets and resolutions, arguing that the colonies had the right to govern themselves. His writing stood out because it was not driven by anger, but by principle. Jefferson argued that freedom was not a privilege granted by rulers. It was a natural condition of humanity. By the early 1770s, protests, boycotts, and clashes had become common across the colonies. British policies such as the Stamp Act and Townshend Acts fueled resentment and resistance. Jefferson watched closely, believing that history was approaching a turning point. When the Continental Congress gathered to address the growing crisis, Jefferson was selected as a delegate from Virginia. Though young and relatively quiet, his reputation as a gifted writer preceded him. In 1776, when Congress decided that a formal declaration was needed to explain the colony's decision to break away from Britain, Jefferson was chosen to write the first draft. This was no small responsibility. The document had to justify rebellion, appeal to reason, and communicate universal principles that people around the world could understand. Jefferson worked carefully, drawing upon philosophy, history, and his own beliefs. He did not simply list complaints against the British king. He explained why any government that violated natural rights lost its legitimacy. His words transformed a political conflict into a moral argument. When the Declaration of Independence was presented, it shocked the world. It openly challenged monarchy and declared that people had the right to overthrow unjust rulers. Though some phrases were debated and edited by Congress, Jefferson's core message remained intact. The Declaration was adopted on July 4, 1776, marking the birth of a new nation built on ideas rather than royal bloodlines. Section 2 of Thomas Jefferson's story shows how a quiet thinker became the voice of a revolution. He lived in an age of empires, yet dared to imagine a world governed by reason, equality, and freedom. His ideas did not just serve America, they inspired future revolutions across Europe, Latin America, and beyond. Jefferson proved that even in a world dominated by power and tradition, ideas could rise higher than empires. After contributing some of the most influential ideas that helped lay the foundation for a new nation, Thomas Jefferson entered a critical period of his life focused on responsibility, reflection, and thoughtful guidance. The early United States faced many challenges. It was a young country trying to organize itself, establish rules, and ensure that its people could live freely and safely. Jefferson understood that building a strong, lasting society required far more than clever ideas or bold statements. It required patience, careful planning, and a commitment to education and learning. He believed that the key to a stable society lay in preparing the minds of its citizens and creating systems that encouraged fairness, knowledge, and cooperation. During this period, Jefferson accepted important roles and responsibilities that allowed him to observe the ways in which communities and nations grow over time. He spent valuable years abroad, studying different cultures, traditions, and systems of governance. These experiences broadened his perspective and helped him understand the delicate balance required to maintain both freedom and unity. Jefferson learned that long-term success comes not from force, domination, or rigid control, but from trust, understanding, and a shared commitment to collective growth. He believed that leadership was not about power or attention, but about serving the people wisely and respectfully. When Jefferson returned to America, he continued contributing to national development through careful guidance and informed decision-making. Education became one of his central priorities. He believed that knowledge empowers people to think critically, solve problems peacefully, and take responsibility for their own freedoms and well-being. Jefferson encouraged learning in all fields, including science, agriculture, philosophy, and exploration. He saw curiosity as a force for unity and progress, helping people discover new ideas, develop innovations, and make informed choices for the future. A key aspect of this stage in Jefferson's life was his focus on expanding opportunities for future generations. He encouraged careful exploration and study of the land, nature, and resources, not for personal gain, but to help communities grow responsibly and sustainably. Jefferson valued research, observation, and methodical planning, believing that understanding the world leads to better decisions and long-term prosperity. Throughout this journey, Jefferson remained committed to humility, simplicity, and service. He consistently demonstrated that true leadership is grounded in ethical values, thoughtful action, and concern for the welfare of others. Section 3 of Thomas Jefferson's life shows his growth from a visionary thinker to a steady and thoughtful leader whose influence helped shape the early United States. His emphasis on education, balanced decision-making, patience, and foresight strengthened the foundation of a nation still in its infancy. This chapter of Jefferson's story teaches an important lesson. Leadership is not about seeking glory, winning arguments, or exerting control, but about serving, guiding, and preparing society for a better and brighter future. Jefferson's life during this period proves that ideas must be matched with responsibility, and freedom must be combined with careful planning and moral integrity. By focusing on learning, thoughtful leadership, and service, Jefferson set an example for generations to come, showing that lasting progress is achieved through wisdom, education, and dedication to the common good. Even a visionary thinker like Thomas Jefferson faced challenges and complexities that tested his wisdom, patience, and leadership. Life is rarely simple, and Jefferson's journey was no exception. While he devoted himself to education, exploration, and public service, he also had to navigate situations that required careful judgment, compromise, and reflection. One of the key challenges during this period was balancing his personal beliefs with the practical realities of the world around him. Jefferson strongly valued freedom, equality, and knowledge, yet he lived in a society that had limitations and traditions he could not immediately change. This required a level of thoughtfulness, restraint, and adaptability. Jefferson understood that progress takes time, and that even the most well-intentioned ideas must be implemented carefully to have a lasting positive impact. Another area of complexity was making decisions that affected the growth and stability of the young nation. Every choice he made, whether about supporting education, promoting exploration, or guiding communities, carried weight and consequences for future generations. Jefferson approached these decisions with deliberate thought, always considering the long-term effects on society. He believed that the responsibility of leadership was not simply to act quickly or gain recognition, but to act wisely and in the best interest of the people. During this stage of his life, Jefferson also emphasized the importance of learning from mistakes and remaining humble. He recognized that no one has all the answers, and that continuous learning, self-reflection, and adaptation are essential for any leader or thinker. Jefferson encouraged curiosity, observation, and careful planning as tools to overcome challenges. By studying the world, its people, and its resources, he sought to make informed decisions that could strengthen society and benefit future generations. He also understood the value of patience and persistence, knowing that meaningful progress is often gradual and requires consistent effort over time. Jefferson's approach to challenges was grounded in ethics, service, and a long-term vision. He showed that even when faced with difficult circumstances, one can remain committed to principles while adapting to reality. His life during this period illustrates the importance of resilience, thoughtful decision-making, and dedication to the common good. Section 4 of Thomas Jefferson's story highlights that growth and leadership are never without obstacles. True impact comes from balancing ideals with practical action, learning from every situation, and staying committed to education, guidance, and societal well-being. Jefferson's ability to navigate complexities and remain focused on meaningful progress demonstrates that leadership is not about perfection or speed, but about steady, informed, and conscientious action. This chapter of his life reminds us that challenges are opportunities to learn, improve, and prepare society for a brighter and more informed future. Even today, Jefferson's approach to navigating difficulties teaches valuable lessons about patience, thoughtfulness, and the importance of combining ideals with responsible action. Thomas Jefferson passed away on July 4, 1826, a remarkable date, marking the 50th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence, a document that he had written decades earlier. His death symbolized the passing of one of the most influential minds in American history, but his ideas and achievements continued to shape generations. Jefferson's life was not only about his own accomplishments, it was about the principles he championed and the example he set for others. He believed deeply in education, knowledge, and the power of learning. He understood that for freedom to endure, people needed access to information, the ability to think critically, and the opportunity to make informed choices. This belief inspired him to support schools, libraries, and the spread of knowledge across communities. Beyond education, Jefferson's legacy includes his emphasis on curiosity, exploration, and scientific observation. He encouraged discovering new lands, studying natural resources, and understanding the world around him as a way to strengthen society. These principles not only helped the United States grow physically, but also intellectually, fostering innovation, research, and progress for generations to come. Jefferson's commitment to leadership, service, and responsibility left an enduring example of how individuals can impact society in meaningful ways. He demonstrated that true leadership is not about recognition, titles, or power, but about careful decision-making, humility, and dedication to the well-being of others. His life illustrates that ideas, when paired with responsible action and thoughtful guidance, can create lasting change. Even centuries later, Jefferson's contributions continue to inspire people around the world. Students study his writings to learn about freedom and equality. Leaders reflect on his approach to knowledge and public service. Innovators and thinkers draw lessons from his curiosity, patience, and ability to balance ideals with practical action. Section 5 of Thomas Jefferson's story reminds us that the impact of a life well lived extends far beyond personal achievements. Jefferson's words, decisions, and example continue to guide and inspire those who seek to make a positive difference. His legacy teaches that education, reflection, service, and careful leadership are timeless tools for building a better society. Jefferson's story encourages us to dream boldly, act responsibly, and dedicate ourselves to learning, growth, and service. By studying his life, we learn that meaningful contributions are built not only on great ideas, but also on persistence, thoughtful action, and an unwavering commitment to the greater good. His vision for a society guided by knowledge, ethical principles, and shared progress remains a beacon for generations who wish to combine wisdom with action and ideas with responsibility. Thomas Jefferson's journey shows us that one person's ideas can shape the future, inspire generations, and change the world without raising a sword. If this story inspired you, imagine what other stories of courage and wisdom are waiting to be discovered. Don't miss out. Subscribe now, hit the like button, and join us on this incredible journey through history. Keep learning, keep exploring, and let every idea spark a change in your life.